Quad, which is actually an unchanged shape from last year. We kept everything the same, except the looks obviously, but there's one addition to it. We're putting a bigger size in the market, a 101, which will allow the heavier guys, or even if the conditions are not so good, to use a quad in, let's say, not ideal conditions. Why is the board still the same? It's pretty simple. We've been making tons of prototypes between Victor and Klaas and our development, and we haven't really found a board that we like better as the overall package as this current production board. So as we were not convinced, we said, well, we'll leave it as it is because it's really good. We received great feedback on it. It's an early planning board, yet very radical, and well, we just couldn't make a better one with a lot of effort. I mean, Klaas and Victor, they spent months on the tour in Chile, South Africa we went, here in Hawaii, didn't come up with a better one. So I think it would be interesting for the audience to understand, Victor, when are you going to use the quad and when will you go for the tri-wave?
Yeah, okay. Like for me, the quad is the more radical board. You know, I will use it in places like Poso, where you have to make those backside air really quick and slide around.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good for the takas, and the plane is a little bit slower than the reefing.
Okay.
I use the quad more for conditions like Hokipa, when it's small waves, where I want to make this kind of takas, you know, sliding around off the top. And the drifting, I like it more the other day when it was big, like mast high or a bit more. And I had more drive, longer bottom turns with more control and a lot of speed. And in places like Seal or Krilimure, when I have a lot of current, I think I will use the thrust, the drifting, because you can use it also as a single fin. When I use the 5.9, the big board, I want to be fast, pass the current, and have speed for the jumps.
Wait a second, something must be wrong. The mast high on the onshore board, why is that? And not the most radical when the waves get really big?
Because the board is a bit more straight and it drives me longer than this one. This one is a little bit more loose. The board is shorter than the 3-wave, and I'm more safe with the bigger thing on the back, because the board is holding more and drives you with more speed off the top. That's why I would take the drifting.
Okay, so to wrap it up, for a windy place or not as big waves, where you need short turns close to the lip, close to the face, you choose the quad.
Yeah.
For onshore place with a lot of current, or big waves where you need big drawn turns, you'd rather choose the tri-wave.
Also the advantage of the quad, I think, is that it's a little bit wider. So for, you know, when you need more flotation and move around on the wave, like snappy turn, really short turns, it's a bit better than the 3-wave.
So Nick, as you're dealing on a day-to-day basis with all your customers where you live right on the water and you get a lot of feedback, what would be your advice in terms of sizing? You had a comment on this earlier regarding why we needed a quad in a 101 size, which is a fairly big waveboard.
Well, I'm fairly simple, to be honest with you. Compared to what we were always using single fin boards, you have a certain size. Now with these multi-fin boards, and the quad is obviously the most extreme, because of the control, the way they sit in the water and the grip that you get from the extra fins and the way the boards are developed, you can actually use a bigger board for the conditions. So if you were normally using around an 80 litre single fin board, you'd go for an 85, 87 litre quad.
So you get more range, actually.
You get much more range, more stability, more safety if the wind drops off. If there's current where you live in, you've got a bigger board to float out on. You don't have to be maybe maxed out in your sail. You can maybe take a slightly smaller sail so you're a bit more comfortable. And then the bigger guys, again, you know, we've got a 94 that, you know, turns as well as a 75 litre single fin did 2 years ago. So the manoeuvrability on these boards now is absolutely unbelievable.
Good.
I'm using the quad as it's the most radical waveboard and more compact shape in a more sideshore oriented wave riding spot. And I'm using the tri-wave in a more cross onshore, still snappy turns, but still kind of the lift of a single fin style board, in a more cross onshore spot where I'm still want to hit the lip and want to do short snappy turns.
Is that because you're getting more drive off the bigger back fin, so the board comes out a little earlier and sits a little higher, versus the quad? You know, the lift of the fins is not that big. You get a lot of grip, but on this board you obviously get a much higher lift from the center fin. Yeah, is that the feeling?
Definitely, you have a little bit higher lift off the center fin, and you have a little bit faster rocker line that gets you going a little bit earlier than the quad. So you get more speed. You get more speed for the jumps and the takeoff. You have a lot of grip and a lot of projection off the lip.
Well, thanks, Klaas. I'm clear now, and I hope you guys are as well. Give it a try.